Hey everybody! Time for the second episode. Literally joining or starting this at the exact same point that I stopped the last one. You can see with how much the dirt here is spread, or the grass is, spread. That we're literally just doing this exactly the same. Uh, well, we wasn't. So this entire hole underground is going to be a little bit of a pain to walk all the way around it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill it in. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to grab some wood planks here, and we're going to actually make a ladder system going up on it. So let's go ahead and grab that. Okay. What I want to do is I want to try to find the dead center here, and in order to find the dead center, I'm pretty much just going to be going off of that piece of bedrock there. And from this side, I want to have all four sides have some kind of transportation going downwards. Um, Now, we're not going to be needing the grains of infinity for quite some time. So what I can do is actually cover up the top of that. In order to get the grains of infinity, you do need to light the top of the bedrock on fire. But for now, we don't need it. And I'm fairly certain you can just like... No, okay. Well, I was dead wrong. Looks like we need a few more ladders. Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, and bam. Okay, now we've got a way down. Now what we can do is we can get rid of this and then start filling in this gap here. The reason why I want to fill in the gap is because it just looks terrible, right? We can fill it in with good old standard stuff. Now you might be wondering, with the holes here, aren't you just going to fall in anyway? Well, no, if you just walk over top of them, you won't fall in. So you have no danger of falling in at all, unless you walk over top of it and you stand still. But you got to be like in the right spot, right? But as long as you're walking over them, you can be looking straight down there, and you won't. You'll get slowed down a little bit, if you can see. You can hear the thing, but it's not going to be doing anything. We can even go as far as to create some trap doors, and we can do that. But I feel like if we're going to do the trap door route, we might want to have them flush, huh? Which means getting rid of the first set of layers here, set of ladders here. Yeah, so then you get rid of that, you just hop down, and then you can climb back up and jump out, and bam. I kind of like the other way, but I can see how this would be a little bit more preferred, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it just fits flush. Then we can slap a little torch there. We're going to keep the torch here because we're in a snowy plains biome, and we're going to actually get some snow relatively soon here. Um, that's just a wild guess, and I don't really want snow to impact us in our daily routine. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making a ceiling. Okay, in order to make a ceiling, we are going to need quite a bit of wood for that, which we do have. Now, one thing we can absolutely see if we can make is a building wand, which is this. Yeah, buddy. So the stone wands are basically, we're not using these crooks, so we can put them back. We're not using that, we can put it back. Remember, if we ain't using it, put it away. Now, one thing about these building wands is you can actually just do one of these numbers. You can see the little outline there. You can, yeah, it's really fun stuff. We can also just go ahead and be making kind of like a shelter for this main area here. The other areas we don't really have to be worrying about as much. We will have to worry about it, but not as, like I said, right? Not as much. How much dirt do we have? We have more than enough dirt to make another spot here. and another spot there. I don't know if we have enough dirt to put another spot there yet. If we do, then that would be a really cool 3x3 pattern base, honestly. But what we might want to try to do is branch, right? So let's go ahead and make the border first. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making this roughly, ideally about 9 tall, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 9 tall or so. And then we can worry about the different kinds of aesthetics afterwards. Let's go ahead and get some more planks here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to kind of, just to where it doesn't look terrible. Oh, let's go back to none. We can kind of do one of these numbers where it is a little bit layered. We are going to have some issues with lighting up here, but I can just do it one layer down. And just do it on this layer. That's fine. So then we can come around here. Now I don't want to mistakenly cover up that side. So now what we do is we can go here, go there, and then we can do this. We can get rid of this, rid of that. And now we know exactly where to pillar up on that. Even though we're going to know anyway. But yeah, cool stuff. Looks like that is the last one there. Oh, and I just built right over top of it. Look at me go. Now, yeah, this is going to be pretty ugly for the time being, but at least we will not be getting snowed on. No, if any of you have played a Skyblock and you've got snow in your area, well, I mean, you really don't even have to have played a Skyblock to kind of relate to this, but it's more like once you have a snowy area, it's going to hurt. Once you have a snowy area and it starts snowing on you, then that's like everything. Like everything is snow. It's really quite annoying. So what we can do is do this. Maybe not. I'm just going to go up. Okay, looks like enough of the grass has grown. That way we can go ahead and remove this. Let's get our shovel back. I didn't even use these. I made them for the specific task of helping me build, but I didn't use them. Oh, classic me. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that once we pillar. I'm gonna need 3 pieces of our stone. Cool. We're gonna keep the little area around here. Actually, I might get rid of it. Whatever. We'll keep it. For the time being, we don't have a way to move the water, so I'm just gonna keep it there. For the time being. Now, when it starts to snow, it is going to want to freeze that water, but with that torch there, theoretically, should be fine. Okay, we got a little bit of a roof here. Now, one of the disadvantages of having the roof here is we can no longer grow trees here reliably. So that is why we're branching out to the sides like that. What I want to do is go ahead and create some more. Let's create about 6 or so. That'll work. We're going to grab all of our dirt. We're going to grab our cobblestone. And we're going to start making these spots of land around. So now I know what you're kind of going to be thinking. In order to spread the grass, you need the grass there first, right? And then we need to make a path going all the way over. But what instead we can do is we can get something called grass seeds right here. And by doing that, we literally just get string mesh and all that fun stuff. Speaking of which, it's about time we start getting into sieving. Uh, let's go ahead and create the outline here first, and then we can worry about sieving after. Yeah, okay. So that'll be filled up pretty cool. Just one short. Oh, man. Actually, that's going to be cobblestone too. We just lost both of those. Am I... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Is it starting here? Am I missing something here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why are you on 8? 1, 2, 3... I'm confused. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I just go one further on this piece than I did the others? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did. Okay, so it does line up better with the 9, or with the 8, sorry. So we're just going to trim those. Cool. Alright, now what we're going to do is we got to trim this. That will be cobble. And then what we can do is we can come around here and knock that, and then get that. Okay. So then that'll connect, and then this will be dirt. So then I should be able to find a spot in the center, like so, and then bam, Bob's your uncle, right? So then we come over here, there, get rid of this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Somewhere in the center, bam. Now, it looks like we don't have enough dirt to do the last little spot there, but we will eventually, because you can actually make dirt by... actually, I know you can create it with dirt essence, but... I could have swore there's another way to get dirt. It's in the barrel, ain't it? Huh, apparently not. Oh well. First piece of bread that we just ate. That's cool stuff. Now we need quite a bit more cobblestone. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay, let's do this. So let's get 8 things. Let's get 8 stacks. 8 stacks shouldn't take too long. One thing I want to try to do is go ahead and get into sieving. So we can absolutely go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so let's disconnect that. We can throw that off the edge. We can hold shift, press K. And now we have 2 stacks. Let's go ahead and finish our borders around everything. Almost ran clean off the edge there. Okay, well that's why we bring these back down. Okay, now since we don't have anything here, we're still going to be making the border around where it will be. That way we know exactly how big of an area it does have to be when it's actually going. Just like that. Okay. We do have a little bit of a lighting issue there, so we're just going to do a placeholder torch. And we can worry about getting more dirt there as we go along. One thing about getting dirt, if I remember right, is you can actually make the barrels, which is what, just slabs, and then yeah, okay. So let's try to get some more dirt while we're here. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit. Let's see, 8, 16, 24, 32. Shove that back in there. Make sure we still have our safety sapling. Yeah, and then we'll take the dirt. Let's go ahead and fill in the dirt. Okay, 14, 16 pieces we're missing. Now what we can do with these handy dandy barrels is we're going to go downstairs. The reason why we're going downstairs is because I need to put a torch down here. That'll work. The reason why I'm going down here is because this very well can be influenced by rain, right? We don't want any kind of water getting into this. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's fine. Now what we can do is we can take our oak saplings. We can put 8 in here. Okay, so after that's done, I'm actually going to break that and move it over here. So this is turning into dirt. Bam. And now we can take our extra saplings that we might not need and convert them straight into dirt. Don't fly off the edge. Thank you. What we can do in any of the patches of dirt that we're not using as grass, we can start growing these trees. Just like so. And then we can come over here and patch in a few pieces of dirt as we go along. Now, just like before, we do need to prioritize getting actual saplings, right? Because we need stuff to feed the composter below. We can use string, but for the time being we don't have any more saplings besides the safety sapling, and now it's starting to snow. See, that's what we don't want. We don't want snow everywhere. So it's actually kind of annoying that it is snowing now, but that's alright. Let's just go ahead and get some more wood. Hopefully we get some saplings out of that. Now, I did make it a mission to actually use the crook there, but like a big old spoon, I wouldn't. Crook. And the crook, all it does is give you an increased chance of getting the saplings and getting the drops from the leaves themselves. So one of the cool things we can do with this is we can kind of line them like that. The way we can just shift and grow these. You can see there is a range, so you do need to be inside of the range for it to work in the first place. Okay, they're all grown. See? Right, let's go ahead and create a crafting table over here. That way we don't have to move it very far. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and replace this bottom log with the crafting table. That way we can just have an on-demand crafting table. If we really wanted to, we could make a crafting table on a stick, but that creates another keybind issue that I really don't want to have to deal with. So, call me lazy. It is what it is. And we'll just continue on here. Now, we should be able to make a compressed crook, right? Nope, I was wrong. Okay. It's not often that I'm wrong. I'm just kidding. It's very often that I'm wrong. That was actually very dangerous what I did. I switched to my pickaxe and held down the vein miner key. That very well could have removed all the cobblestone on the base, because it is kind of connected together, right? So it's one thing we don't want to do. In order to create a barrel, I'm fairly sure it's just, but yeah, planks and slabs. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and create quite a few more barrels. Make some slabs. 8 more is fine. Oh, so it does have the option where you can convert that back to planks. That's really fun. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be slowly integrating all of these pillars into some kind of storage system. Okay, now what we can do is we can go ahead and get another axe, because ours broke. What we're going to do is we're going to, actually, let's just go ahead and OCD it up. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this. Okay, bam, bam. Okay, now storage is where it's going to be a little bit interesting. Right off of the bat, what I'm going to tell you is that we have 9 barrels combined. I don't want to have a barrel on every single leg, because at the moment this base is quite symmetrical, and we will lose stuff. It's going to happen. We will lose stuff. Now, we do have this little landmark here, as long as these things, but, you know, we're going to lose things. So at the moment, what we're going to do is we're just going to be placing these on the floor. Okay, there's 9 spaces. Alright, just like that. This entire floor will be barrels. But for right now, what we can do is we can start putting stuff away. At the moment, there isn't any rhyme or reason behind any kind of organization, but now there is. So now this entire top part here will be blocks only. This will be tools only. We're just going to have to keep mental notes here because I literally, yeah. So this will be tools only, and then we can have, like, everything else over here. It's like miscellaneous or whatever. We can keep them there. Do we count saplings as blocks? Because we place them, right? Probably not, no. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We want to plant a whole field. we go. Got a whole field. Now, since we do have a whole field of saplings that did use all of... No, we didn't. We still have that one, and we have the safety sapling there. For the safety sapling, we might be able to put it on the ceiling there. What you reckon? Let's put it on the ceiling. Let's put the safety sapling up on the ceiling. We're going to use the logs because we're going to be vein mining. We're going to put it straight up here. And we can't access it because it's a chest. I can put a barrel. I'm going to make another barrel. Now, because I am using another barrel, it does mean... Look at me already forgetting I have crafting tables everywhere. It means I do have a chest for free sitting in there. So now we can look straight up, like this, and safety sapling. Nice stuff. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to wait for these to grow. So right off the bat, I do see an issue. We need to remove that line right there because of the proximity of that fun stuff, yeah. So, right off the bat, let's go ahead and not vein mine it just yet. Now that they're disconnected, we can vein mine it. Okay. Miscellaneous in there. We can take our apples instead of our bread. Save the bread, because it's good stuff. Bread is good stuff. Now, if you're looking and you got some keen eyes, we got some quests to turn in. So this is in the useful items and mods. We have made a construction wand, which means we get 3 XP levels. Now, I don't know, let's see, we're level 2. We should be level 5 now, yeah? Yeah, okay, so the XP levels directly correlates how many levels you have. That's good to know. For the quests wise, let's go to Storyland, the beginning. So this right here is going to be called Baby Steps, and we're going to actually claim this. We didn't before, and then we actually have to go through and redo all of the quests. We actually have more bread too, so we don't have to worry about eating apples anymore. Alright, let's go through and not create a team. Let's go to the quests. The very first one is where it all began. We're going to get some logs, like that. Get some of this, some of that, some of that, some of that. And then we're going to pick this up. Like that. Now, I will be putting the furnace here. Oh, it's the bone meal sound. I was hearing something whenever I would shift. It's the bone meal sound. I was like, what is that noise? Okay, I do need a full stack of pebbles, so auto clicker enable. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. No, 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 no. Wait, no. I can fix this. Okay. Easy. Easy. And go. Okay, disable the auto clicker and bam. Nice. And then we press K. Cool stuff. So now we can go ahead and turn this in. It gives us an apotheotic coin. Apotheotic coin. We're going to store those up here too. Hopefully I don't lose it. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, we can actually put our chest that we have to work. And we can put it there. I guess. We do have this one, which means we get another coin. We need to hold a crook. Like that. Okay. It probably needs us to grab some of this stuff too. And then find our chests. We can put that up. They do stack. I don't know why I did that. Alright, let's do this, and we get another coin and a crook. And then we get some more string and that, which is cool. Furnace, I thought I picked you up, my dude. There we go. Okay, so the crook can go away, that can go away, whip around, this can go in there. And now we have furnace. What's next? After the furnace, we need to start going into the iron furnaces route. That's going to be a little bit later. We're not going to worry about that just yet. Now we got the hammers. Saplings. Okay, so this is the emergency. I actually did not know this was a thing. So if you do end up losing your one and only sapling, you can get another one here. Since we have a safety sapling, we're going to go ahead and claim this one. This looks like it is repeatable, so that's cool. That's good to know. Thank you. So yeah, we just got like free saplings right there. So let's see here. 8, 16, 24, 32, and then it will be 40, right? Right. We've got saplings placed there, so we can come down here and do some of this. Now, you can actually turn on your auto clicker and do that too. So that's cool. We don't have to worry about all that fun stuff. Now, what I'm really curious about is how fast the sieving process. So the sieving process is very tedious. Anybody that's ever played any kind of modded Skyblock for any kind of sieving whatsoever knows it is tedious. So I'm curious to see how that rolls through. But, you know, we'll figure it out together as we do. Next thing we're going to do is start the cobblestone generator. Cobblestone generator. No? Okay. Is it the cobble gen? Yeah. So the cobble gen tier 1, we're going to go ahead and copy that. So we do need some actual iron for that. So it's going to be a little while until we get an automatic cobble gen going. We kind of already have a cobble gen going with our auto clicker, but it's not automatic, right? We kind of need some automatic fun stuff. So let's look up a quest book like this, and that is a stone and a book. I don't have the things for a book, so we're just going to skip that. We're going to go to quests. So it does look like it wants us to go into the sieving direction. Let's go downstairs and grab a barrel. Like so. Thank you. Barrel, claim, done. Chest. Now it wants us to get 8 pieces of dirt. Now, I don't have 8 pieces of dirt on me, and I don't want to mine it. Right? I can do these 8. It's actually what I might do. Yeah, let's do that. Let's replace these. Where did that go? Right there. Okay. Place that back down so we don't freeze. While we're at it, do we want to fool with that? Probably not. Actually, yeah, it's the only piece of dirt here. Uh-oh. Well, good thing there wasn't a whole lot of water there. So we got the achievement. That's cool. We also have enough dirt to fill in the last area here. Should, anyway. Nice. Good stuff. The bad thing is you can't even vein mine it unless you got a shovel. We'll keep the snow just because I don't know what we'll need it for, if we need it. Alright, let's grab this, which is done, and now we need to grab some grass seeds. The grass seeds is going to be by sieving dirt. So it looks like we need to go ahead and rip the band-aid off and get into sieving. So we actually have a lot of crooks, so we don't need to worry about that. Okie doke. Now, because it is where it is, make sure we replace what we take. If you deforest, make sure you reforest, right? Cool stuff. Let's get rid of that. Go here and get rid of this and that. And then we can come here, there, there. Why did I do that? It means we need to do the sieving stuff. Right, okay, here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to do 4 trees. We're going to turn all of these into infected ones. Now, you can actually also use these silkworms as compost down here. And you can create more dirt. Auto clicker, go! Okay, so these do take, it looks like 25. It takes 25 silkworms to do one. That's interesting. 25 silkworms turns into 1 dirt. It's actually kind of crazy. Right. Grow, trees, grow. Right, now that's perfectly in the way. Let's make sure the logs aren't at all connected. They are, which they're connected up there. Which we'll need to climb up and get those. Let's make sure what we're about to do isn't connected to anything, which it probably will be, but it's alright. Right there. Right now, if I want to mine this, the logs on the right don't light up. We're done. Okay, and then we'll put those away, and let's go ahead and infect these. So bam, 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 bam. Alright, all of those are infected, and they will start to spread as they do. The reason why I need string is because I need a string mesh with the sieves, so we need to be making these sieves, and then the string mesh. Then we also need quite a few barrels, so let's go ahead and create those. Let's grab you. Already forgetting that the crafting tables are there. And then we can balance grid, and let's create 9 barrels for now. You can see those are working pretty good. Now, I do need a sieving setup of sorts. Okay. Now, let's actually grab these barrels, because what I'm about to do requires those barrels to be kind of handy. Let's go ahead and put 1 barrel here, because we're going to need that water in the future. Actually, we can take it with us. Let's take it with us. Any quests we completed thus far? Nope. Now, what we need to do is we need to create a 5x5 platform, ideally out of cobble. So let's do that up here. Let's do a... Ooh, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Do we want to do it on this platform? I don't think so. I think we want to go out a little What blocks we working with? Okay, alright. So what about we do something like this, but only so we can do this. Okay, and then we can continue on with this. We can do a 5x5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to leave the middle open for now. That's a 3. I made a 3x3 amazingly, okay? I don't want to hear any bit of it. I mean, technically speaking, we need multiple sets of the 5x5 anyways. So that's obviously not a 5x5. I know what I'm doing. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go down one. So like I said earlier, we just look down at one of the blocks until you see the little down arrow 0 on your cursor, and then bam, Bob's your uncle. Come around here, that way we can get rid of that straggler there. And then we can fill this out. Okay, so this is going to be one section of sieving. And then how many meshes are there? I think there's 5 different kinds of meshes. There's actually quite a few different kinds of mesh. Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 kinds of mesh. Ooh. Okay. Which is interesting. So if there's 8 kinds of mesh, what we can kind of do, we're not going to be doing all 8 kinds of mesh right off the bat, but instead what we're going to do is we're only going to go up to diamond, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5. I know what we can do. We can do this, and then we can do a little cobblestone border around this because it links up with that. Like so. Let's see here. Do we want to bring the cobblestone layer here too, or do we want to keep it like that? Now this looks out of place, don't it? Okay, what if... Okay, yeah. See, now that looks a bit odd. Just bring the whole thing back one. I can do that. Bring the whole thing back one. Yeah. One, two, three, four, 5, and then this will be gone. Okay. Now, what we do if we place the torch right in the center, it should light up all the surrounding areas, but we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be placing a torch on the outer wall on the outside here. And that's because it doesn't really matter. We're pretty much out of duration with that, so we're going to toss it overboard. Create a new and improved one, sort of inventory. Okie doke, and let's not worry about the logs. It doesn't seem like the logs were the right direction to move in anyways. So there are 5 meshes that we're going to be looking at, so we can make a sort of 5 mesh area thing. Okay, just like before, we can look down, bam, bam, then come out and over, that way we can grab the straggler. Okay, these are going to be gone. Easy peasy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay. Now that we're here, what we can do is we can take our barrels and then we can actually get rid of this. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be stacking these barrels alongside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, wait a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got perfect 9 all the way across. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we do. Okay. So what we can do is we can actually set these up in groups. Okay. And what I mean by groups is we can do... Oh boy, what can we do here? We do 3 sets of 3. We can actually just do these 3 right here. What you reckon? Yeah. Beautiful. And we can shift right click to put this on here, and now it's lighting up the whole thing. The texture is a bit weird with it being cut like that, but it is what it is. I think it looks pretty decent-ish so far. And then we would just expand, and then we can expand out the 2 centers there. So there are 5 different kinds of mesh. The first kinds of mesh that we're going to be worrying about right now is the string mesh and the flint mesh. The flint mesh we're not going to be getting to in this episode because we've already been going for 48 minutes. Actually, speaking of which, we're gonna end it off right here. We literally just built the base the entire time. So thank you guys so much for watching episode number 2. Next episode we will be starting into sieving. It looks like that tree over there is done. So yeah, sieving next time. See you guys.